Okay, story time. Let me explain to you what happened to my car. I'm gonna draw a diagram for you. So here's the road. Oh, can you not see this? Let's get closer. Here's the road. Here's the restaurant that we were going to, right here. Oh man, everything's just not gonna work today. Okay, there was a car parked on the street here. There was a bunch of bike stuff here. Okay, and then across the street there was a parking lot with diagonal spots like this. Okay, so Demetrius rolls up, driving my car, and is trying to parallel park in this spot right here. And there's also a pole right here. Okay, so as he's like trying to squeeze into this tiny ass little spot, I'm like, Demetrius, there's a spot right there, like right here, right across the street. It would be easier to park it. And he's like, no, this one's closer. I'm gonna squeeze in here. We had a whole conversation, which eventually I let go because I'm like, you know what? Don't sweat the small stuff, right? I'm not gonna argue about the parking spot. You want to squeeze into this tiny ass little spot? You want to use the backup cam that we're not used to having? Sure, go for it. Okay, whatever. Had this whole conversation. And then as I'm even getting out of the car, he's like, oh, there's a pole there. Do you have enough room to get out? Which I barely did. I squeezed out of the car and it was like, it's fine. So not only do we have a conversation about the parking spot, we had a whole conversation about the pole. Like, we get out, we go to the restaurant, and then some lady while we're eating runs in the restaurant and is like, is that your Toyota out there? Someone hit it, blah, 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 blah. I run out. What happened is a guy parked his truck right here, left it with the dog inside. Now, we're not sure if he actually even put the car in park, or a lot of people were suggesting that maybe the dog hit the shifter and the truck rolled backwards just perfectly in alignment with my car to push it into this pole. So, either this man did not put his car in park or a dog crashed into my car. One of those two is what I'm assuming. And if you're really on my woo-woo train here, if you've been following along with that, the only reason I'm not totally freaking out about this, because mind you, I've had this car. By the time this was happening, I'd had this car for 5 days. And I had been waiting to get a new car for a very long time. So, I almost lost it until this man said his name was David. And then the wheels started turning. And so that's the end of the story. But if you want to hear all my woo-woo shit, that's like something weird is going on here. Okay, so I don't have my phone to show you because I'm recording on it, but that's okay. I will tell you anyways. So for those of you that have followed my whole like spiritual weird journey, I have been writing down my weird synchronicities that I've been getting since November. One of the first, I believe it's either the first or second thing that I wrote down when I first started writing down synchronicities again was the name David. And I wrote down the name David 3 times throughout the last few months because it just kept coming up. I'm like, I don't fucking know who David is, but I just keep writing it down because I'm like, it's bugging me. It's something about David. Another thing I wrote down was poles. I wrote down poles in January. I sat down with Demetrius and even had a conversation with him, and I was like, I'm getting something about poles. I don't know. And he was like, what kind of poles? And I'm like, I don't know if it's like a literal pole or if it's like a South Pole, North Pole kind of thing, like a stripper pole. I don't fucking know. Something about poles. That's all I got. Poles. So I wrote down poles. I also wrote down back seat in January as well. So like a month and a half ago before this happened, I wrote down poles and backseat, and for months I've been writing down the name David. I also had a dream in January. I went back in my little dream journal that I have on my phone because after this happened, this was like afterwards, I was like, wait a second. I had a dream about this. So in January, again, about a month and a half before this happened, I had a dream, and at that time I was starting the process of looking for RAV4s. And at that time, I thought I wanted a white RAV4. I had not even, like, that, I was set on the white RAV4. But I had a dream that I had bought a black RAV4. And in the dream, I was inside somewhere, and a woman runs inside the place that I'm at and tells me, like, oh, they're towing your car out there. And I run outside, and I'm like, no, that's my car. Like, please don't tow it. And they had it up on, like, a hook. Like, it's not how they actually tow stuff, but the car was like, they had it like on a hook, and it was like practically vertical. And they, in the dream, they drop it down really hard, and the whole bumper rips off on the hook. And the lady that was there, she like tries to put it back on the car, and it just like won't go back on, and it's like completely like crooked and messed up from this point on. And I was talking to her, and I was like, oh, do you think that I can sue them for this? Because I just bought this car today, and now it's all like dented and fucked up. So I also had a dream that I had a black SUV, and that it had gotten all fucked up right after I bought it. And something else that I thought was weird is that in the dream, a woman runs inside the place that I'm at to tell me that something's happening with my car outside, and that's also what happened in real life. Granted, it was not being towed, it had been crashed into, but it was like the way that this all played out was like, it just was very similar. And then wasn't even thinking about that dream anymore. A couple months later, I changed my mind. I decided, you know what, I was looking at the RAV4s, and I kept seeing the black ones, and I was like, you know what, I think I want a black one. I think I like the way that looks. So I ended up with a black SUV that then got messed up shortly after purchasing it. So that's another weird thing. And then the David thing. So the guy who sold us the car, mind you, this name has been haunting me for months. The guy who sold us the car, his name was David. The guy who crashed into my car, his name was David. And then the guy who called us from Geico, from this guy's insurance to deal with the claim, his name was also David. So I don't know what woo-woo weird shit is going on, but there is something weird going on around this car and with what's happening here. And so I am trying to just, I'm like, okay, something weird's going on. I'm gonna try and not swirl down the rabbit hole of I just bought this car and it's ruined, and freaking out about, you know, money and stuff, because hopefully it will just get taken care of, and maybe something will come of this. I don't know. But that's just a fun little tidbit for anybody that actually knows me and how weird things happen to me all the time. So that is what happened to the car. Thank you and good night.